Welcome to Purpose Driven Church for Unificationists, Day 11. We're looking at myth number 6, there is one secret key to church growth. So what Rick Warren is saying is that church growth is actually very complex. There are many different factors. But people tend to look for the one secret solution that's going to help propel my church to the next level, or to maybe get my church out of stagnancy or some kind of a difficult situation. We oftentimes look for that secret formula or that one thing that's going to change things and turn things around. He says that in reality there are many ways to grow a church, and he could look at many different churches and there are different strategies. Some of them are completely opposite to one another, but yet you can see churches that are growing using many of these different methods. He says some churches grow through their Sunday schools, some churches grow through using small groups, some use contemporary music, some use traditional music, some have an organized visitation program, and some others don't. And the reason why there's more than one way to grow a church is because there are so many different kinds of people, so many different kinds of needs that can be addressed. It takes all kinds of churches to reach all kinds of people. I would even take it one step further and say that you have to go beyond the church in order to reach some people. Because especially now in this time in history, there are many people who are very weary of institutionalized religion or organized religion. Many people won't even step into a church. But they may step into a stimulating intellectual talk, such as like a TED Talk, for example. If somebody was to create a informational kiosk or a retail location that was very appealing, and it didn't really seem like a church, but you could find out information about God, or how God has worked through history, or how science and religion work together, that might be a very appealing thing for a certain group of people that might otherwise not be interested in coming into a church. It may open the door for them to be more open to that kind of thing. So, but even just those kind of things aside, there are so many different kinds of people in this world. So very different interests and characters and different flavors. And God made it that way for a reason. We can see the same thing in nature. So there's no reason why all churches should be the same. And they're different appeal for different kinds of people. Rick Warren says God uses different approaches to reach different groups of people. He also states that it is important to note that even though it's good to have a variety, it doesn't necessarily mean our message changes. You know, the truth that we are teaching shouldn't become watered down. It shouldn't become, it shouldn't change. It should remain true to the essence of the teaching. We should be true to the divine principle. We should be true to the tradition of our true parents have given us. But at the same time creating a message and a flavor that can appeal to all different kinds of people. And the last point he makes is that we should never criticize what God is blessing. So God might be working through a ministry or a church or a community that's doing a certain thing, and it might be tempting to see that and say that, oh, they're doing something that's different than what we're doing, our way is better, or something like that. But what he's saying is that we should be careful that if God is blessing something, if God is working through some ministry, then we should be uplifting of that ministry. We should appreciate it. Maybe there's even something that we can learn from them. He says he's adopted this attitude: if lives are being changed by the power of Christ, then I like the way you are doing it. So I think that that's an attitude that we can adopt as well, even though we may be doing things differently than maybe people in some countries or some other communities. But if it's working and people are coming to know the principle and how to apply it in their life, make their life better, and recognizing who true parents are and getting blessed, then we should be happy about that. So that's all I have for today. Tomorrow is myth 7. All God expects of us is faithfulness. All right. Thank you very much.